Entonces, ahora que Gino viene, yo quiero proponerle que haga un testamento y todo queda a mi nombre.
Oh boy, here we go again. Gino and Jasmine are back for a new season, and right from the offset, Jasmine is raising some serious red flags. Now, Gino's family already think that she's with him just for his money, or to get a green card and run, and she's doing everything she can to make those fears seem real. I mean, they're not even married yet she's already talking about how much she'll get if he dies. It's a bit disrespectful, isn't it? But, as you might expect with these two, it's about to get a whole lot worse.
Claro, o sea, si te casas con él.
Si me caso y si se muere antes, yo no quiero que se muera. Yo no quiero que se muera.
Eso no está entre los planes.
Should Gino be worried? The way Jasmine's talking, it's like she's planning a murder. Now, before we jump into all the mess, let's rewind back to the start. Now, we left Jasmine last week showing what a hypocrite she is, after she revealed that she's still friends with her ex. But not just friends. You see, they're also now neighbours. She's insisted that Gino pays for a luxury apartment in the same building as her ex. After all the drama about exes last season, it will be interesting to see how Jasmine breaks this news to Gino, because with Gino planning a trip to Panama, it's safe to say this secret won't stay hidden for long.
Both of us really need to see each other in person. This whole waiting for K1 visa approval, that created some tension for us. And I'm hoping on this trip we can work out our issues.
Oh yes, your issues. What were they again? You both argue constantly, you both have very different spending habits, there's huge trust issues between you both, and oh yeah, the sex. Jasmine is a very sexual person, and Gino, well, he seems to have a tough time keeping her satisfied. Now, we know that Gino's family have been very worried about him. So before he leaves for Panama, they organise a dinner to see where he's at.
How's everything going?
It's going good. I mean, we're having some arguments and stuff sometimes. I think it's mostly because of long distance and stuff.
If Gino really thinks that it's just the long distance that's putting a strain on them, well, frankly, he must have a screw loose. The guy might be academically smart, he might be a great engineer, but he's got the emotional intelligence of a doormat. As we saw last season, Gino has a habit of downplaying very serious issues. Like, he really struggled to understand how serious it was that he shared Jasmine's topless pictures with his ex. And it seems like his family are aware of this trait too.
Sometimes I don't think Gino thinks about these things enough. He kind of just rolls with the punches, and he thinks things are going to be resolved in a short amount of time.
I know I said he had the emotional intelligence of a doormat, but now I'm starting to think maybe he's actually just a doormat. It's clear that Gino has a very loving, protective family, but he seems so happy to be walked all over. He's just so naive. He seems to think that bad things will just magically disappear without any real effort on his behalf. And that is making him think that it will be easy to resolve some very serious issues in his relationship, when the truth is actually very different.
Did you ever bring up the prenup to her again?
Jasmine and I had a brief conversation about prenup in the past.
He never mentioned it to me. I'm not signing up any prenup.
This issue of a prenup has been looming over Gino since the day that he proposed, but he's been too cowardly to bring it up to Jasmine. His family aren't wrong. A prenup feels like it's essential for these two because they're just so different. Gino loves to save. Jasmine loves to spend. Gino has worked very hard to set aside a retirement fund for himself, and it's prudent and wise to try and protect that. But on the other hand, he's also the sole reason why Jasmine lost her job as a teacher. That after her nudes got circulated online. She's now dependent on Gino, and that seems to explain why she feels so entitled.
You're afraid that she's gonna walk if you say, I want a prenup.
Not just walk. She's gonna blow up. It's kind of like saying, I don't trust you.
Yeah, but you don't trust her, do you, Gino? That's exactly why you need this prenup. Actually, let's go back 2 steps, because it's not even about trust anymore. Jasmine's outright said that if Gino screws up their marriage, she plans to take the house and everything else. She's been pretty clear. So trust isn't even a factor anymore. Gino needs to protect his assets. That is just a fact.
If I'm in the United States and we get married and he screwed it up, I'm gonna kick him out of the house and I'm gonna stay with everything. No.
And we all know that all it takes for Gino to screw up is something as small as liking the colour that his ex picked out for his walls. Which explains why Gino's family are seriously expressing their concern for him. They question why he wants to build a relationship off something that seems so rocky to begin with. Why is it, they ask, that they can't seem to resolve any of their issues?
I feel like you're afraid to bring up any issues with Jasmine, and that's kind of a problem.
Exactly.
They've just hit the nail on the head. Gino and Jasmine can't communicate properly because Jasmine is overly emotional and Gino just holds it all in. Gino's so worried about losing Jasmine that he's scared to ever say anything that might make her unhappy, even when it's a really important thing to say. He's worried about Jasmine's temperamental personality. He's constantly on edge. And this inability to communicate is affecting Gino in every aspect of his life, including in the bedroom, which, as Jasmine shares with her friends, is a big concern for her.
La relación con Jasmine y Gino me preocupa porque Jasmine es muy activa en la sexualidad, pero Gino, que son 18 más años que Jasmine,
I don't know if it's the age difference between them that's affecting his sex drive, or whether it's more stress related. I mean, having to constantly walk on eggshells must take its toll. But whatever the issue really is, the truth is that Jasmine was already far too open about their intimacy issues in the last episode. She went into way more detail than any of us needed or wanted to hear when she revealed that since their first trip together last season, Gino has been struggling to finish in the bedroom. The thing is, Gino knows exactly why he's having that problem.
I'm super attracted to Jasmine. She's beautiful, gorgeous. But when we argue and fight, I lose my desire.
I'm willing to bet good money that Gino hasn't actually expressed this to Jasmine. How can I be so sure? Because she's out here talking about genital cosmetic surgery or butt plugs, both with the aim of giving Gino a tighter experience, when in fact, all she really needs to do is get off his case. Let the man just relax a bit.
At this point, I'm willing to try anything to get our sex life back on track.
I don't know, Jasmine. Maybe the two of you should start with therapy before you go under the knife. But as Jasmine opens up to her friends, she reveals that she's also been having trouble getting along with Gino's family. And that is also starting to become a big issue. It seems like one of Gino's cousins has been openly questioning on social media, on Jasmine's comments, whether she really loves him.
¿Te importa a ti cuánto yo quiera al otro? Esa pregunta yo no te la tengo que responder a ti. Atrevido venirme a cuestionar a mí. Ni mi mamá lo hace.
Jasmine's anger feels disproportionate here. I mean, sure, it's typical Jasmine for her to flip out. But at the end of the day, if she really loves him as much as she claims she does, surely she should understand that his family are just trying to protect him. She should want to protect him too, shouldn't she? The thing is, her hypocrisy is beginning to show, because she says, I don't have to answer to you. Yet wasn't she the one that expected Gino to answer to her family? In fact, didn't she go as far as to say that if Gino didn't live up to her mum's scrutiny, their relationship would be over? So why is her family allowed an opinion, but Gino's aren't?
Because they see me as an opportunist. Someone that just wants to go to the United States, marry Gino, and after I'm, secure with a citizenship, just goodbye, Gino.
I actually don't think that Jasmine's just after a green card. Her feelings for Gino, as difficult as it is to really comprehend, do seem genuine. My issue with her is more about her self-awareness. She seems totally oblivious to how she's coming across. She doesn't seem to comprehend what it looks like when she demands that Gino pays for a luxury apartment for her, when she just expects him to pay for her nails, her lips, her hair extensions. For someone who was so disgusted by the idea of being a sugar baby just last season, now she seems ever so comfortable in the role. It's no wonder that Gino's family have questions, but Jasmine's not done yet.
Entonces, ahora que Gino viene, yo quiero proponerle que haga un testamento y todo queda a mi nombre.
Jasmine, that's probably not a good idea if you want Gino's family to stop thinking you're just with him for the money. Now, Jasmine believes that that's the least she deserves for uprooting her life and moving to the States for Gino. She'll be giving up her friends and her family, including her 2 sons, although notably neither of her sons live with her currently. But even with that being the case, Jasmine wants to make sure that she's looked after in every scenario, including if Gino were to die before he actually marries her.
Claro, o sea, si te casas con él.
Si me caso y si se muere antes, yo no quiero que se muera. Yo no quiero
Pero
que se
no
muera.
está, eso no está entre los planes.
Even Jasmine's friend is starting to look uncomfortable. Jasmine's playing this role of a heroine in a telenova or something. She's being very dramatic, but it is quite sinister. So, with the pair reuniting, with Gino determined to get a prenup and Jasmine determined to be written into his will, you get the impression that this is going to be a disaster. Now, before we get to Gino and Jasmine's reunion, let's hear what Gino's Uncle Marco has to say about the entire situation, because his assessment is hilarious.
He has all these good intentions, and then he gets there. She comes there bouncing her boobs in front of him, and all his good common sense goes and turns to jelly.
I mean, he's not wrong, is he? That is kind of what happened last time, and I'll be surprised if that isn't what happens again this time. Which leads us nicely on to Gino and Jasmine reuniting. And just a fair warning, if you've got a delicate stomach, I'd look away now.
Oh, baby.
And that right there was exactly what Uncle Marco was warning us about. I just hope for Gino's sake that that excitement carries through to the bedroom, because if he fails to live up to Jasmine's expectations yet again, she's going to make his life hell.